We're joined this morning by Director Brian Peete with the Riley County Police Department. Always a pleasure to have you over from the Little Apple.
The pleasure and honor is mine, sir.
All right, we got several things to talk about, some big things. First of all, you guys had a shooting over the weekend. What can you tell me about that incident?
Well, apparently there were two individuals known to each other, and there was a dispute related. The circumstances revolved around alcohol and disagreements, and one individual ended up unfortunately shooting at the other, and then attempted to leave Manhattan. And thanks to the diligence of the officers and the investigators on the case, we were able to later capture him in cooperation with the Wichita Police Department and several other agencies along the way through the use of license plate reader cameras.
How many shots were fired? Are you able to say?
Multiple. The exact number I don't remember, but there were several shots fired.
Okay. Also, let's talk about Fake Patty's Day. Obviously not a sanctioned event, but it's an event that happens every year nonetheless. You guys have an entire page on the department's website dedicated to it so that people would act responsibly and also know what could possibly happen if they didn't. So what did the numbers end up looking like?
So we're still in the process of crunching what those numbers are, everywhere from the amount of money that it cost the department in working overtime. We had over 100 officers that were out there throughout the entire day, and multiple arrest citations, disorderly open container violations. So there were several different issues, but I think it was a success from our standpoint because there were fights, there were brawls, but we worked to keep that at a minimum. And I think that we also want to put out there that the majority of the public, the vast majority of the public, don't want this anymore within the community. So we're going to work to try to eliminate it from the culture, I guess, of Manhattan.
Okay, let's talk about the staffing at the department, because that's an issue that law enforcement across the country are facing, have faced, continue to face. So where do you stand with staffing?
We are, knock on wood, is on the numbers. We're fully staffed.
You're kidding.
No.
Wow.
So with corrections, we were having issues with corrections
for a while.
So now we are again fully staffed. I think that has something to do with the culture of the department.
Yeah.
Again, the constant outworking to outbid each other as far as agencies are concerned, it's unsustainable. It's not fair to the taxpayers. So we just have to create an environment and a culture that folks will want to come and work. And it also helps that we have a very good community and supportive community. So technically, we are there. We do have some open slots within patrol, but we anticipate to fill those. Something that's really unheard of over the last several years in law enforcement is we had 54 applications for open positions in patrol. And while it may not seem like much for a larger department as ours, it is a significant, I think, numbers that any agency would want to see in their recruitment process.
Well, I know during the time when you were needing to fill those positions at the jail and people were having to work a lot of extra hours, you were spending a lot of time over there, because I would call needing to check with you on something or ask, and they would say he's over at the jail and he's working over there today. So did you find things that needed to be changed while you were there, or was it just a matter of working with the team that was there, helping them get through until you could hire more people?
I think it was a combination of the two. We had our Captain Derek Woods, who was the corrections commander at the time. He had retired. It was he was going to move on, and he had done so many great things for the department. But in transitioning in, we brought in Captain Mark French, and he came in with a lot of ideas, a wealth of ideas, and the focus was on the morale of the department,
okay,
of the corrections folks. And I think that was something that they especially needed because, again, we were hemorrhaging people. And,
sure,
and there's a lot of different reasons why. You may have some self-doubts. You may be frustrated because you're working more.
Right.
So definitely the focus and the investment were on the folks downstairs, a core group of people who were committed. And I think that core group has, that culture, that family environment has inspired and pushed them to different levels, and it's just a joy. I see folks down there laughing, giggling, making fun of each other.
That's fun.
And so to me, that's the best part. But while I may be the director, I don't have the answers or solutions.
Right.
Those solutions come from the people who are down there working. So when we listen to the people who are actually doing the work and we implement the changes and recommendations they want to see, I think it creates a better work environment.
All right, Director Peete, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We're back right after this.